Hello everyone and welcome to the JomezPro Final 9 Waco event. I'm Chris Papa Gomez and I'm doing commentary here with Ryan Draper.
Hey guys, excited to be here and talk about the bEast.
Yeah, so we have our top 3 players, which actually were for a tie, and our wild card player. And here we have you, Ryan Draper.
Yeah.
And we also have another local from Whitney, Texas, Brandon Griffith. And another surprise from Whitney, Texas, Joe Sexton. So it's a pretty strong game there in Whitney. And then our wild card player from Tarleton State in Stephenville, Scott Copeland.
All right, first hole up is going to be hole 13. This is a 555-foot hole. Mando on the right. I definitely want to make that Mando. I'm here to tell you that it's not a good deal when you miss that thing. Land up in about this area if you have a really good shot, and then up shot. If you're a really good player, you probably have a long putt for a 2, but most players are going to take a 3 here.
Yeah, it's, again, a very technical hole. Just with that Mando alone doesn't allow you to go over the road, which is for safety, but also takes away that line. Here I'm getting to be on film, first with being a brother of Jomez. So here we have Ryan Draper to start us out. How were you feeling being the first one off the box?
Surprisingly wasn't feeling that nervous. You may not be able to tell from what's about to happen, but I felt pretty good. I've been throwing pretty good that day, and then this happens.
Yeah, I think you look like you just kind of early released maybe, and it hit that left tree, and unfortunately it kicked right just at that Mando.
Second on the box, also shooting.
So now our next player here, again, one of the Whitney boys. So they play this course, I think, pretty regularly, but Brandon Griffith likes to throw a lot of Innova. Looks like he's going to go with a Glow power driver.
Yeah, maybe a Glow Destroyer or Glow Wraith. He throws both of those, I know.
Got a little high. That probably helped him from missing the Mando, and not too bad of a landing, just kind of awkward footing, I think.
Sure, yeah, that was a good kick. He's going to have a pretty easy upshot to the basket.
64 from Whitney, Texas.
I'm getting a lot of screen time here. And then Joe Sexton, he is probably, I think he throws a lot of Innova as well. But this may be a little bit more of a flippy disc, maybe a strike or a wraith, because he's doing a sky roller.
Scholar.
I don't think I've heard that before. I think I've been around a while, but not long enough.
I just made it up on the spot.
Oh, okay. So he had a nice roller out there. Again, that's that landing zone you want to be in. That bowl gives you either a forehand or a backhand. And so he's set up pretty well for getting his birdie.
Yeah, that's probably the ideal spot on this hole. If you don't have the arm to get it all the way in putting range, you want to just be out there anywhere to the left. That's the most open area of the hole. Gives you a forehand or a backhand.
Yeah, here we have Scott Copeland. He is our wild card winner, and he has pulled that disc. He has missed the Mando, but he has made the road. Unfortunately, it's going to be OB.
But he did bomb it, so there's that.
He did, so unfortunately I don't give you credit for that. So he's going to play the Mando. You missed the Mando as well, so you'll go first.
Yeah, I think I'm either throwing a Compass here or a Opto X Explorer. By the flight, could honestly be either one.
Yeah. That was a great line. It just seemed like it came up short, which I have a hard time doing that as well, as wanting to go for it. And Scott again, turning it over, I think trying to get to the basket probably.
Sure.
Unfortunately, turned it over and is OB again. Here we got Brandon. He's got a pretty good upshot there. Again, gets around that tree, pretty much puts him in a circle's edge, I think. They may have done the same disc, actually. And so he's in the circle's edge for his birdie putt.
This is a rare forehand from Joe Sexton. He doesn't throw those a lot, but whenever he needs it, he's definitely proficient enough to get it done. He's probably 30 feet out or so.
Yeah, probably circle's edge. Here's Scott. After Miss Mando.
Oh, no.
Miss Mando went OB and now hits a tree.
He had that trash can kind of right in his life, so that probably affected him a little bit.
Well, and then he splits the uprights, but then unfortunately hits that next tree, and he's on the edge of the circle as well.
Here we got about a 35-footer from Brandon. Just a little short. That's okay. That's his first putt on the final 9. That tends to happen.
Yeah. And Scott, even though he's picked up quite a few strokes, I like seeing him run that instead of just laying up. So we could see there.
So this is me from probably 35 also. Oh, that made that nice.
That's
I'll
a
take
par
it
save
all
there.
day.
Yeah, great par save. Got a little exercise there, running up to get that SloMez disc out of the basket.
Also, if you see a lot of people wearing these tie-dye shirts, I do want to talk about that for just a second. That's a nice putt from Joe to save his birdie. We wore those tie-dye shirts in remembrance of Matt Mayo. Super great dude, always a friend of Waco. Everybody loves this guy. He passed away not long after winning the Final Nine the previous year. So he is our current and forever Final Nine champion in Waco as far as we're concerned. And lots of us wore those tie-dye shirts to commemorate him and his win, and he wore that Fast Taco shirt. So
yeah, great guy. Everybody loved him, and unfortunately lost the disc golf community. But I'm glad y'all were able to honor him, and I think we'll probably honor him year in and year out. So.
Sure, yeah. So this is going to be hole 15. This hole probably looks pretty easy to everybody on video every year during the Waco and all the tournaments that are filmed, but I can promise you that it's not. 558-foot hole. There's always some kind of treacherous either headwind or tailwind. Both of them hurt this shot because it's hard to actually land in a long enough up there and in this skinny fairway without going OB left or right. You can see OB left is the road, and then OB right is that fence line. This is going to be a great shot by Joe Sexton. Way down there. Anytime you get past that iron fence there, you're in a good spot. So,
yeah, I think looks like you were doing the same thing here, of an overstable disc, kind of on a turnover, kind of making it Annie so that you finish in the middle and not in the road.
Yep.
You just have to take the risk not to hit those trees on the right. As long as you keep it high enough and you go over the fence, you're in a great landing zone. And Brandon was about the same.
Yeah, he's throwing the same disc again as well. Anytime that you land early of that tree and right in that spot, that's a good spot. You usually want to be a little in front of or behind that fence. It can obstruct you a little bit, but that's a great spot.
Yeah, see, Scott just kind of seeing how y'all played that and really played it very much similar and a really great recovery from that first hole he played. So everybody's in a good spot.
Yeah, which is pretty rare on this hole. I've seen even during the Waco, but you can see that thing's never been hit before.
And again, I've seen many great drives end up just like that. So, Scott, you're not the first one. Great upshot, playing a little higher over that box there, and easy drop in.
Yeah, that last shot scared me, I think. I wanted to play pretty high over that thing.
Yeah, Brandon just did the opposite of you. I just played around it and is in a good spot. And then here we have Joe. Pretty open look. Yeah,
Joe threw a bomb here. This is a pretty short upshot, so that's one way to make this hole a little easier. Yeah. I think we had a pretty easy wind this day because it's pretty rare to see, not a bunch of super high level players all land in the fairway on their drive. So
good save by Scott to get his par again after that first hole to be able to calm down and finish that hole. Could have had a birdie, but that's okay. Again, getting that par. You guys are dropping in your birds to keep that those top three with one stroke. I think Joe got a stroke on you on all of you on that first hole. So just playing clean golf here.
Yeah, it's good to see Joe out here on the final nine. Always excited to have locals showing up and doing well. So it's always cool to see locals on the final nine stuff.
Yeah.
This is going to be hole 17. This hole is definitely a doozy. I'll say that this hole can be really easy if you have a great a great drive. If you don't, this hole is super hard. There's just no in between on this thing. 610 feet, super hard dogleg right. If you're a big dog pro, you every once in a while you'll see them risk it over this right side rough here to get to the basket in one. But generally, 99% of the field is going to play this kind of either turnover or forehand off the tee to set up for their next shot to the peninsula.
Yeah, and Joe took that risk of trying to get up and around, but unfortunately those trees took him out. Let's see how you go. A little bit lower, but again, that tree just takes up so much. That's probably a good kick there.
Yeah,
stay in the fairway as opposed to right.
Sure.
Is that OB on the right, or is it just ugly?
It's in this particular event, it is not OB. It's kind of punishment enough just to be in there. During the big tournament, we usually mark a line there, OB, so that it just helps speed of play because you can get in that stuff and be in there for 10, 15 minutes trying to get out.
Brandon had a great shot that faded up on top of that hill. And then Scott, thankfully, does stay on the edge. He didn't get in there, but he is pinched off from the corner, so that's going to be kind of a tough upshot.
Yeah, he's going to want to just throw a light up shot right to that little opening and then take his 4.
Kind of like what you're doing right here, right?
Exactly, yep. Couldn't ask for any better. That's setting up perfect for your 3rd shot.
Nice. And see, Joe is doing a backhand instead of a forehand. Like you said, he doesn't forehand much, but similar look, just a different way to approach it. Yep. And he's right there, right behind you, so both of you are in a good position to attack at least for the par anyway. Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, Brandon's going to go for it here. I think he looks like he turned it over just a hair too much, caught that edge, and rolled right in the water. That's the danger of this hole. That peninsula looks nice and wide, but any kind of wrong angle or too much turn or not enough, and you're either wet or deep in some gnarly brush.
He was kind of in a no man's land. Do you go for it or do you lay up? And I think that's what he struggled with there.
Yeah, maybe a lot of smarter people play this sport than me. If I'm in that spot, all I'm thinking is, man, you got to go for this thing, dude. Be a hero.
Yeah. There's Joe just laying it up there. Probably about the same length of putt he had on the very first hole. A little different is he's got water behind it, and here you are.
Yeah, I'm throwing a VIP shield here, really overstable putter, and it just happened exactly like I wanted to. Got lucky there.
That's good. Looks real good. Here's Scott, I think, is on his 4th shot.
Yeah, so everybody's putting at this point. Brandon's kind of outside the circle for a longer putt to save.
Yeah.
And that was a tough one. Any kind of crosswind that's happening on this hole, which usually is happening, you can see the way the river's flowing right now, makes it tough to make those longer putts.
Here's Joe, and then again, that was the hard part there is you got that water behind you. You want to make sure that you don't add a stroke there. And I think Scott was thinking the same thing. He's got that water back there, and so it gets in your head.
Yeah, that water, when you're in person and trying to make a putt that counts, that water is way closer than it looks on camera, I promise.
It's good. Parse, you played that one pretty clean. Did your drive, upshot, and then your approach, so looked good.
There's Joe. I'll tell you, this hole, when it's sunny outside, we've been blessed the last few years during the Waco especially that, you got some nice sun glistening off of that river behind it with those bluffs. This is a super picturesque hole in person. All right, so now we have hole 1, 291-foot hole. Pretty simple shot, really. The only thing that makes it difficult is the fact that it's almost too simple. A couple different lines you can take. One is up the middle through a little opening. You can kind of call it a double mando almost. Yeah. And then most people take the big hyzer play, which you just negate all that, and you have to miss those trees on the right there when you're coming in.
Yeah, let's see what Joe does.
That's the big hyzer.
Yeah, that's probably the less risk there. I know in the Waco last year, for me, I tried to go up the middle. Thankfully, I got through, but I barely landed across. And so... there's a risk there, and there's really not much reward. So this is an easy open. Just got to make sure you stay in bounds, I guess. And hard job. Great shot.
That was closer than I thought. Just take a really super overstable disc and throw it far right and let it do its thing. That was a Sparkle Defender. Those things are pretty overstable. So
nice FollowFlight. Let's see Brandon does his homework and sees how the wind's doing, and very similar shot to see what the distance is, and another great shot. Three really good drives there.
Yeah, everybody's right there. We'll see if we can get 4 in there. And it looks like he's going to be just a little bit left, but probably just fine for the putt. Yeah, that's a nice little downhill putt. Nothing really dangerous happening behind the basket. He should be fine with that.
Yeah, all 4 shots within the circle.
There you go.
Great putt.
That'll settle him down for sure. Look, he looks happy about it. I like to see it.
Yeah. So now is there any pressure on y'all that you see him make that and like, okay, that's a gimme? Oh,
maybe so.
Yeah, maybe Brandon saw a little bit of that. So
that was a big putt.
Okay, we got a little split screen ad here going. So some of our supporters make these things happen. Oh yeah. Lots of little things going on with Jomez, and so of course, we appreciate all your support in making these things happen, getting all these really cool different ways of looking at disc golf instead of just coverage. We get to do a lot of artistic aspects of it, and so we really appreciate y'all's support.
JomezPro is hands down the best. I have no problem saying that. Sorry to everybody else. There's a lot of other really good media teams out there, but they just can't hang with JomezPro. They're the best.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
This is hole 2, 616 feet. There is a Mando on the left. Pretty easy to make this Mando. It basically just saves a big pavilion from being in play. I don't think there's actually any water there this day. But basically, you just want to get way out right, and you don't want it to turn over that much. Let's see if this one comes back in. It looks like it does. Yeah. Came back in. So that's a great shot. You kind of want to be a little more left in the fairway to have a nice upshot, but that was a great shot. Anything far down there, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, he's got a pretty open shot. It's just playing the wind off the water.
Yep.
To make that there.
From those two spots, you can throw a big hyzer. There are some trees in play that kind of affect it coming back in, or you can throw the forehand if you have a nice forehand. This is kind of more where you want to be, maybe not as long as you want to be. It's a little left and short of where you want to be. Right there in that kind of middle spot is the ideal spot. I think Brandon's probably going to get there. He's played this course a time or two.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Look at that. That's a great shot. Nice speed. It looks like it's going to get a pretty good skip. Yeah, dude.
Hopefully he's got to play around that tree there. I know that tree's it's probably 25, 30 feet in front of him, so he should be able to work around it.
He likes that disc. I think he's thrown that one on every drive so far.
So there's the big hyzer you're talking about.
Yep. So that's the thing with the hyzer. It's super easy to come up short on that shot because it's hard to get it high enough and far right enough and still come back in left enough and long enough. I have played this course a time or two myself, so I knew to do those things, but easy to be short or long on that shot.
Just got keeping it low, but more direct.
See if we can get a good skip. Yeah, that's a nice skip. He's going to like it.
Well. It's a little slightly downhill, so that kind of played in his favor as well.
Brandon's pretty good at these straight to turnover up shots. Although this one's a little too turned over. Yeah. Might have gotten excited. He is in a good spot. He's got that putt, though. I've seen him make those. He's got one of those putts that comes out real fast and level. And so those are usually people like that are good at those longer putts. They have those floaty level putts.
Yeah.
Lots of spin.
That P2, he just nicks the cage there.
See if Joe can cash this thing. Yeah.
Great
he knew
shot.
it.
Yep. Confidence does put a lot of shots in that otherwise may not go in if you're just like, oh gosh.
He's feeling it right now. You can tell. He's ready to make some moves on camera.
Yeah. You are from the opposite direction. There's me just trying to get on camera. I have no other reason to be there other than that. And I didn't distract you one bit. You put that in, no problem.
Yeah, maybe. Should this turn into a drinking game? Every time we see a Papa Gomez, we take a shot or something?
Oh, well, maybe. You would have started off pretty early.
Yeah.
All right, so we're cleaned up that hole there, and now we're getting into the woods.
Yeah, so if you don't know about this course, I'll just say first off, this is hole 5, 264 feet. This is a nice hole. It's got a pretty wide fairway, pretty fair, I'll say. You just want to make these two different levels. You want to get on this third level. The only tricky thing to this shot is keeping it straight enough and then having it high enough to hit this top level without going too far past it also. So you want to be slowing down and have nice speed right at the point that you get at that top level. I see a lot of people playing skips off of those two kind of dirt areas there too. They'll throw a high-speed driver straight into that and have it skip up.
Are you throwing a mid?
Yeah, that was a compass.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah, that was a rough one. That one hurt my feelings a little bit, if I remember right. This is one of those holes that I play a lot, and then I feel like I have a good percentage. That was a great shot.
Wow, I thought he hit a tree really early, and somehow he peered it through there.
Yeah, he got the height to get over all that stuff and then fade out. That was a great shot. Brandon is throwing the high-speed driver.
Nice, fairway.
Fairway. I should say a driver instead of a mid-range. Yeah. And that's a great shot, too. He's going to like it.
Excellent shot.
Here, I think I'm deep in the woods. Well, not deep, but I didn't really have much of a shot. I thought I was going to play the little tricky roller out and go for the hero play.
Almost looked like you did the same thing. Like
I did.
it's
like the exact same shot, pretty much. And again, right back in the stuff. I think at this point I was thinking YOLO,
Yeah.
and let's make some big plays on camera, and it backfired. So.
Yeah, this is one of those holes. Like it seems like it's an easy birdie because it's right up the middle, but you can see what happens when you don't hit that technical line.
That was a real good attempt by Joe. Nice make by Brandon.
Yeah, great shot and easy putt.
So what I was saying earlier, this course. The way it's played during the Waco tournament makes the most sense for sure for the tournament. The flow is nice, but generally the way the course actually plays is 1 through 9 are all like open park style kind of big shots. So you get to feel nice and you know you hear the birds chirping and butterflies flying around. It's all pleasant, and then bam, you get into hole 9 in the back here. And it's just a right in your face. It's like you wanna sing the song "Welcome to the Jungle" every time you're walking towards hole 9. So this is gonna be hole 6. This is par 3, 267 feet. This is a tricky hole. I famously remember Paul saying that this was an easy shot, and I'm gonna have to disagree. Although I'm not Paul, so I'm sure to him this is easy, but. Super easy to hit several trees right off the tee. The initial gap is pretty small. Though it's one of those cool holes where it looks like you want to turn it, kind of like Brandon is.
Yeah. But
really, if you just throw a straight shot, it's going to be down there and you're going to be putting.
Yeah, well, the hill naturally makes it kind of cut to the right towards the basket. So, yeah, you can either do a turnover or a forehand. And looks like Joe's going forehand. You said it's pretty rare, so
yeah,
he sees the advantage there, and he even gets the skip up, and he's going to have a putt.
Super fortunate result for that shot.
Yeah.
I think he hit right on the short tee box, the old tee box there, so helped him out a lot.
You know what the turnover putter looks like?
Yeah, well...
Or straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hill slopes down, so it does help if you even hit that hill. It's going to push it towards the basket.
Exactly, yep. So we got Scott here throwing a little touch forehand up, and that looks great. Oh, a little long. But yeah, still a great result. I think he should have an easy putt there, even though it's in a little bit of the brush.
Brandon bringing out the Nova.
Ooh!
Wow.
He channeled his Simon Lizotte on that one, man.
Yeah. He's basically replaying that from what, 2017?
Yeah, 2017 made the highlights on all
Nice.
the different media companies. Yeah. That looks high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were right on. Just had to bring it down a little bit.
Here's Joe. He's been making these today, so we'll see if he can get this one. No.
Yeah, just a little too much fade. A little too high. Didn't spin it enough.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't quite commit enough, maybe. Oh, Scott missed there was some brush in his way out. It is tricky. That little tree right there can definitely get in your head.
Yeah, I've had some great drives, and I walk up, and I'm in that area, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm taking a par on this because you just skip a little fast past that basket.
Yeah, this is one of those cool holes you really want to control your speed. That's one thing, Paul probably thinks this hole is easy because he's great at controlling his speed. Mm-hmm. He can throw the right speed for just about any hole.
There we go. He's done. Got it completed. And you have Joe going for his par. And he gets that easy par. He wanted the birdie, but still playing pretty smooth, pretty clean for the most part.
Yeah, he's feeling better about it now that he knows he got the par. This is hole 7, par 4, 462 feet. There is a Mando on the left that you want to make and hit this gap. Anytime you hit that gap that we just flew through and land in this open area, you're loving it. Nice little easy upshot to the basket. This hole is kind of tight right here at the backside. So if you don't land in that middle area in kind of a good spot, the upshot can be difficult. I'll also say I've seen some of the top forehand players in the sport can park this hole with a nice turnover forehand. So that's a pretty cool shot to see. Joe's playing the kind of typical play. Just want to get out here in this open area. Yeah. He's maybe a little more left than you want to be, but honestly that sets up for a hyzer into that gap instead of a turnover, which is probably a little easier.
Yeah. You're throwing something pretty overstable. Looks like kind of maybe try to turn it over.
That's even that shot there isn't really too bad as long as you're out there in the left open area. It's all kind of the same. You're just maybe a little closer than you would be if you make that longer gap.
Yeah, from my experience, as long as you've got a run up in that open area, you have a shot at getting that 3.
This is a tough lie here. Looks like he turns it over just a little too much. He's probably gonna pitch out to the open so he can get him an upshot there. Definitely throwing the compass, gold line compass here. Wow, feel super good about this shot.
Yeah, that looks great. You gave it a run for that 2 that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That fairway ace.
I wouldn't have been mad about it.
Yeah. You get a nice little death putt, though, coming.
No pressure.
Skipping off the ground. Can he jump over the ravine? He gets down the bottom of it, so that's probably... He has a shot at getting that putt, but if anything, he can run it because he's got that big backstop.
Joe's got a pretty easy up here. Yeah, plays... Oh, man, caught just the edge of that stuff. He was flattening out and was about to start fading to the right a little bit towards the basket. That was a good shot, just barely missed that line.
There's
wow.
Nova again.
That I will tell you, if you haven't been there in person, that was a sick shot. To get as close as he is from where he was at, that was nasty.
Yeah, that Nova's playing really well for him. Made you start driving with it. Scott working his way up.
Yep.
Fortunately, those...
Seen that happen a bunch of times.
Yeah, I like the bEast because I feel like the fairways are fair, but if you miss, you're going to play a pretty tough game in the rough.
If your shots are on that day, you're going to have a good time. If your shots are not on that day, it's going to be a long day because all the brush there is just angry, wants you to not have a good day.
Yeah, and Joe, even he had brush, he gets the birdie, so
it was a great putt.
Really good job there. You got your downhill putt. Nice birdie save there with a great second shot, really, that lets you have that opportunity for a birdie.
Yeah, I was feeling good about that one. It was a death putt, was definitely feeling the pressure from that. Oh, it just leaves it a little bit short.
It looked like he didn't take his time. I think he was just trying to not think about it and just put it in, and I think his rhythm was off, and so fortunately he took that extra stroke.
All right, so we're going to be moving on to hole 10. This is maybe one of the signature holes of the course. Everybody talks about this when they come from out of town. Nice long 591-foot hole. Wide, picturesque, open fairway. I shouldn't say open. It's pretty open.
Yeah.
There are some key trees in there that you want to miss. But if you get a long bomb drive on this hole, that definitely makes the difference on whether this hole is going to play easy or actually pretty hard. If you get off from the right or left in the brush, it's hard to even save par here. So that's going to be a pretty good spot.
Yeah, he was probably going to go too far right and he wouldn't have had much of a run-up. So that did work out, though. He lost some distance. So, and again, same thing for you. At least you're going to have a run-up. It's a little bit long, but you're going to have a run-up.
Looks like both of us were trying a little too hard there.
Yeah.
Maybe even Brandon a little bit. Just really trying to get some distance on this hole. It is kind of important on this hole. You want to get as far down the fairway as you can. Makes it a lot easier.
Well, the hard part for us righties, when you're trying to get down that fairway, you have to stay very straight. And if you don't have something that turns over, you're going to end up left, way down there, but you have nothing to play off of. So I've had that happen many times, driving perfectly straight, then I fade into the left side rough there, and I have nothing. So.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I bombed it, and then just fades and skips a little more than you wanted.
Yeah, which, that's why I see both you and Brandon turned it as far right as you could so that it would finish in the middle.
Yep. I was super happy with that throw. I thought I just peered it and was going to be parked and then caught the edge of that tree. This looks like a great shot if it can fade. I don't think it is, though. Still not too bad. He's up there. He's going to have a nice little jump putt up.
Yeah. Scott here. Again, he's got to run up and wide open.
He's throwing the felon.
Yeah. We say wide open, but there's just enough trees to kill your shot.
Yeah. They're key trees, I'll say.
Brandon's got to stay low because he didn't have much. He had pretty low ceiling trying to get to that gap.
That's what we were talking about. Anything on the right or left, man, you're struggling. You're going to have to make some magic happen. It looks like he did.
Oh, come on. Wow, right over the basket. And that's the thing I've had, too. Even if I've had a great drive, you still have to play your speed right because of that downhill slope behind the basket.
All right, looks like we got Scott with a mid-range is probably an EMAC or something. Oh man, the speed control.
Yeah,
you were
that's what
just
I'm
talking about.
Yeah, I've had those shots where like it looks great and then it drops off really fast, and you don't have much of a putt because of those trees being low, but you're up above them in a sense. Your feet are anyway.
So I'd like to say that I had some kind of idea what I was doing there, but I don't. And I apologize to myself right now, actually.
Just trying both sides of the rod.
Yeah.
Here's Joe.
Wanted to explore the hole. Ooh.
Great run. Tries to hit
nice
Mike
run.
too.
Mike's a ninja, though. You're never going to hit that guy.
That's right. Jonathan needs to get out of the way before he gets hit by you. You going for it here?
I think I was, yep.
Okay. Going for that
I'm
tree.
going to try to ring it up and hit the tree, which I've been doing that day, so. Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that Noah was going to get him out again.
Man. Looks like everybody's kind of in the stuff a little bit.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Again, this it's a fairway, but you don't have that speed control, and you're even in the circle. You're putting, essentially in the trees.
This is a for sure tough putt.
Yeah, and again, all these guys are probably within the circle. It's just how technical you have to be on that upshot, that approach.
That's one of those spots where
There you go.
it's frustrating because you're so close and you can see you have an open line of sight to the basket, but you don't have an open line of flight to the basket.
I've had many drives that said I'm getting my 3, and I walk out with a 5, 6, 7, or so on because of that fairway having just enough trees in the way.
So it looks like we've got Joe taking a pretty... Oh, is that the last hole?
Wow, that went by really fast.
All right.
Yeah,
Joe took the lead. Took the win, I should say.
Yeah. Congratulations, Joe Sexton winning the 2019 Waco Final 9. Those are our results overall, and also this is the 9 holes that we showed you here. And we finished with that signature hole as you talked about. So
Yeah, great hole to finish on. Super, key element there is the drive. I think Joe played a clean round all day. He was putting pretty good. It didn't show up on camera, but I can tell you from experience that pretty much most of the day before on camera, he was making all those putts, and even the ones here in the final 9. He had those nice floaty long putts, and he was canning those things earlier. And even the ones here that he didn't make, he hit metal pretty much every single time. So hats off to him. He played a great tournament, and I'm sure he's super stoked to win the thing.
And thanks, guys, for joining us again. Thanks for all our JomezPro Founders Club who make a lot of this happen. We're excited about showing you more content, and you'll be seeing a few things wrapping up our 2019, and we look forward to seeing an even better 2020. So thanks again, guys. Thanks, Ryan, for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Come to the Waco Charity Open.
All right.